Hello, everyone. Hi, and welcome to Feedback Comedy. Comic Sans presents, Joke Shop presents, The Feedback Mic. We have three names, and I think that's okay. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I am Ray Lockdust. I am your host. So you're going to be seeing me a lot in between each comic, actually. Is that okay? It has to be. Anyway, so we have today four comics for you. But before we get into the comics, I'm going to tell you what we're doing. We're judging comics. And who do I have? Why am I saying we? It's because we are three. I didn't plan that. That just happened. So we have three judges, myself included. And we are going to have our comics come up, do a set, say some words, some great words, some funny words. We're going to listen to those words, and then we're going to hear what we think about it. And we're going to, if they're not the nicest, then maybe we won't be either. But usually everyone's friendly here in this newly established thing. So that being said, our judges today are Alice Rose and Al Val. So, Alice Rose, wow, I love the spin.
You guys,
That was so.
did you get this? You get the spin?
We got the spin. That was so
Yeah.
dramatic. That was so dramatic. Yeah.
I don't even need to do an
Love
introduction
it.
right now. That's enough. Everyone is
That
just, yeah,
was.
that's Al.
We don't even need to do a show anymore. That was enough. We're good. We were all entertained.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
Yeah, we've fulfilled our contractual obligations. Oh my! How are you, Ray? How are you doing?
Oh gosh, I'm so good. I think I got nervous after I said hello. I was confident about the show. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna go well. I'm excited for this. And then as soon as I started talking, I was like, I'm performing. Oh yeah.
It's always
That's
weirder.
so funny.
It's always weirder, like being able to see yourself as you perform. To me, is the weirdest thing.
I
Like when
stare
we
at
go back to
myself.
doing stand-up, yeah, you can't not look at yourself while you're delivering a joke. Like if we do stand-up, they better hang a mirror above the audience at the back, so we still keep that awkward feeling of like, oh, that's what I look like when I do a fart joke. Cool.
Yeah.
The new era of Zoom comedians.
That's
Yeah.
something I'm really grateful for because I, having like crazy dysphoria and stuff like that, I don't watch my video self-tapes. Like I'll listen to my sets, but I won't watch them. So this is kind of forcing me to come to terms with all the weird shit I do with my face when I'm performing. And like I have to start addressing that. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. The
biggest-
eyebrows are never on the same level. It's always one eyebrow is. It's a struggle.
It's infuriating. I realized I have the most crooked smile of all time, and nobody fucking told me in the 32 years of my existence. Nobody's like, hey, maybe you should work out this side of your face every once in a while when you express joy. How about that, Al?
Yeah, bring it back up. Bring it on both levels. You stroke victim. What is this?
Yeah. Yar! I feel like I smile like a fucking pirate. Like fucking Popeye.
Fun fact:
This
I had
is
to
the happy
draw.
side of my face.
Fun fact: I had to draw an illustration of Al for a project, a little podcast live stream we do called Charisma Mod. You can check that out. Anyone who's watching, but it's true. The crooked smile is always there. I had to incorporate it, otherwise it just doesn't look like Al.
Yeah,
You
I
need
never really.
heavy eyeliner on the under the eyes and a smile from the side of it, like a Jean Chrétien fucking smile out there, and
Oh,
it
gross.
magically transforms into like that is an illustration of Al. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Gross.
very nice
Asymmetrical
portrait.
and emo is exactly what you just described. The most asymmetrical emo comic.
Aw,
You say that like it's a bad thing. I, for one, think that's appealing.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should lean into it. I don't know.
I'm totally like as you two were talking and you're both like piling up on yourself and Al. I'm thinking like I'm the Paula Abdul of this. Like I'm just like you're great. I think
keep
smile's endearing.
doing it. Whatever you're doing, it's working. We got a nice comment. Let's put that up there. Hey, Sarah.
We love your face
Thanks
too.
for yeah, we love Sarah and missed you. I got to work with Sarah yesterday. It's been a busy week for me. All right. So should we talk about ourselves? Should we introduce ourselves as judges?
Yeah, I want you two to introduce yourself because I didn't have time to ask Al for anything.
That's all right. That's all right. Most of you probably know me. I'm Alice Rose. So Ray has been so kind as to let me absorb like an amoeba in a petri dish. I was just like, I want your show. When you can't beat them, eat them. And we've decided to make Feedback Night for the Feedback Show a joint effort with Joke Shop and turn it into one bi-weekly show that's bigger and better. So really thankful for you, Ray, for being up to that and being patient with me while I catch up on other work so that we can finally invest time into this.
Yeah.
And sorry for everything this last minute. Anyways, yes, I am the producer of Comic Sans Productions, Canada's first and only major comedy production company and talent agency that represents exclusively queer and marginalized comedy performers. We before the quarantine, back in the good old days, I feel like it's been so long, and also no time has passed at the same time. It's so weird, this quarantine. But back before, we were running and producing a bunch of shows across Southern Ontario, and now we're trying to figure out what we can do online. And we're doing some fun things with podcasts and live shows and cool things like this. So I'm happy to be a judge on the inaugural edition of the pairing of our two shows. And what better sidekick, what better yin to my yang to have on the show. I'm already a solid glass of scotch into this, so we're gonna have a mess. But who better to join us on this inaugural show than my good friend, my celebrity comedy crush, Al Val, everybody.
Hey, what are your standards for celebrity, first of all? Before I give my
You're on TV. You've been on my TV more than once. So.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey guys, it's me, your resident celebrity for this show. I'm a 5-star Michelin chef. I've trained with Gordon Ramsay, Guy Fieri, Paula Poundstone, or what is her name? I've eaten at many fine restaurants. I burned half my mouth, and now I have a weird smile that no one's leaving me alone about it. So I like to think that my experience in the culinary arts lends itself to my wicked shop. That's a knife pun. Red hot humor. So comics better be on your A game, because I'm judging you as only a 5-star Michelin chef would. Okay.
This just became a mashup of Joke Shop, Feedback Comedy, and Hell's Kitchen. I like it.
Exactly.
I like it. Let's do it.
Hell's Feedback.
The comic that can make the dull side of my face smile the most gets a prize tonight. If you can correct my weird shifty face with a joke, then I'll pay you $50.
$50. Wow.
$50. There we go. That's that's what we're looking for. That full face smile. That's like a handshake from Paul Hollywood or an uncomfortable grope from Anthony Bourdain.
Exactly.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. Yes.
Is the Grover? I didn't know that.
He's not the ideal man. He's no feminist, but he was not a groper. as
Okay.
far as I know.
Bourdain?
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I think he's
Okay,
fine.
that was
I
that was
just-
not a comment. I was just like, oh, did I miss something?
No, I'm trying to get Anthony Bourdain posthumously canceled for some reason, apparently. Yeah.
Anyway, I think that maybe we should get the ball rolling with a little audience warm up. That, or I'm going to talk about how much I dream about Al Bell.
I am a local celebrity after all, so
Yeah.
yeah. I've been on Alice's TV,
Mhm.
so kind of a big deal.
That's right. That's right.
You were introduced as a world famous comedian on Serious and Sober, and I think you responded exactly the same as you did when Alice interrupted.
It's the only way I can. What am I gonna be like? Yeah, that's right. World fucking famous, bitch.
Yeah, Slim Shady. You're so empty without me.
Yeah. What am I even doing on this show? I'm world famous. I could be a real asshole about it. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, okay. So I would like to start with an audience warm-up because, lucky audience members, I want your participation. I want you here. I don't want you to heckle, but I do want you to show us that you exist, that you're listening, and I don't know, if you think of a fun tag, throw them at us because we love words. Words are great. So to get you motivated, we're going to do a Mad Lib. Don't worry, I wrote down the definitions of verbs and adjectives in case anyone forgets, because I always forget. So, to begin, can I get an adjective? That is a word describing a noun.
Thank you.
A noun is a person, place, or thing.
So an adjective is describing a noun. So
We have fruity in the chat.
ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I like fruity.
Mm-hmm.
Fruity. Just sing it to compress it. Okay, a plural noun. Plural noun.
Puppies. Oh. Why am I saying these out? Okay, I want to participate. Puppies.
Yeah,
Pretend
no, I
that was
want
in
you
the
to
chat.
participate. That's fine. Thank you, audience member. All right. Ooh, an article of clothing. Come on. Is Sarah Dawn still with us? She likes to participate.
Jorts.
Yeah.
Jorts from Sarah Ashby. Jorts.
Jorts. Oh my
Jorts.
goodness. Thank you, Sarah Ash. Jorts. Okay, a noun.
Which is a person, place, or thing.
Yes.
Got it.
Or,
Yes.
yes.
Who's got a noun?
Noun.
Sarah. Sarah, come on.
Jalapeno from Ryan.
I hate that my brain read it as jalapeno.
Can't put the enye in the chat.
All right. A verb. Does anyone know what a verb is? Bonus points if you know what a verb is.
An action word.
Yes.
Yeah. A doing word.
A doing word.
We have a jump in the chat.
Oh, jump.
Jump.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. A pet name. A pet name. I will accept this from anyone.
A pet name, like a pet's name, like the name of a pet, or a pet
No.
name that I would give sugar tits.
Sugar tits.
Sugar tits.
Okay.
Clumpy sugar tits. Okay.
Clumpy sugar tits. 1 lump or 2. Huh.
Ba-da-da-ba. All right. A noun.
How long is this?
Yeah, this
A
is
noun
one
is, again, a person, place, or thing. Florida.
Florida. Okay,
I'm just going to give them to you now because I'm into this.
Yeah, if the comments start coming in, then that's great. But Alice, I'm loving your participation. All right, verb.
Lounging.
Lounge.
Lounged.
Lounge.
What tense do you want it in?
Two-
Past, present, future. Will lounge.
I'm
Will be
gonna.
Present perfect.
Present perfect.
Okay,
What
an
is
So lounge?
Lounged. I did a past tense. I didn't read ahead. We're just gonna see if it makes sense.
okay.
All right. Adjective. Adjective is
The describing one. Yeah.
Alice is living her best life.
I'm like back in English class. This is good. Do we have suggestions for an adjective?
Spooky.
I love spooky.
All right, now we have 2 nouns. So it's one in a row. Yeah. So I'm just getting impatient and rushing, apparently. 2 nouns.
Paris Prince.
Paris Prince.
Parisian Prince. There we go.
Parisian.
Parisian.
Parisian Prince. Okay.
I
Alright.
think Parisian would be an adjective, though.
I'm just gonna. I put it as 1.
Okay. Cool.
So
Good for you.
We'll see if it makes sense.
You're doing great.
Thank you. It's why they call me Gray. Yeah. Believe it or not, that worked better with my dead name, but I'm over it. I need another noun, though.
Gourd.
Gourd. Ooh.
Oh, I thought you wanted 2 nouns that go together. That's why.
No.
That's why I was. That's why I
was
said
so wondering. I was
Paris
like,
Prince.
I thought you were just getting creative, and I was into it. So.
Okay, great.
All right.
We're both doing so well.
We're professionals, right? Right.
Mhm.
Truly.
Adjectives. Truly. A true adjective. Oh, truly. Sure.
Adjective?
Yeah. a
Oh
true
no,
adjective.
I was answering your thing. An adjective.
Yeah.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly professionals. World famous, even.
World famous.
Grotesque.
Grotesque. I like
Ooh,
that.
good one.
I definitely spelled that wrong, but that's whatever. Who hasn't given us one? Either way, we need a noise. So if someone
Like
wants,
phonetically spelled?
you know what? I'll figure that out on my own. If someone wants to just make a noise for me. No, and I'm going to try all of those.
How are you going to recreate that? Are you writing it out phonetically?
Yeah.
It's just going to be a bunch of consonants in a row, right? It's just going to be M, R, H, G, P, Q. All right. Go
I have
nuts.
absolute faith.
Thank you, Alice.
Not that I'm not dissenting here. I'm just curious about the process.
All right. Yeah, see, Ryan knows what's up. And I do need a verb, but not from Alval.
Verb is the action, the doing word.
Yeah.
Anyone? From someone who hasn't given it. Sarah, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, what happened to Sarah Bellman?
Oh,
All right,
I'm sorry, Sarah Ashby. There's Sarah in the chat as well, not you, Sarah. I'm sorry. We have our Comic Sans, our other co-producer, Sarah Dawn, in the chat. I didn't realize there were 2 Sarahs, so I was calling out to Sarah in the chat. And you've been answering. Okay, I see that now. Sarah in the chat's in the audience. Give us a verb.
Yeah. Verb.
To be fair, I did say hi when you said hi to her, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I totally caught that confusion and let it happen.
I love you for that. I thank you. Sarah Dawn, can you give us a verb? Are you still watching? Hmm? I think Sarah tunes into Comic Sans shows and just leaves her camera, leaves the video running in the background to give our shows views, which I love. Thank you for that. Okay, Al, verb. Let's get a verb. We have a show to do.
Gush.
Gushed.
Gush, I like that.
I like it. Gush.
All right. A body part.
Appendage. Just say appendage. Let's just
Ooh, keep it vague.
keep it vague. This is
And-
art. We'll let people
Yeah.
interpret.
Okay. Yes, I love it. Okay, and now we just need our final adjective.
Spongy.
Spongy. Okay.
That's great.
All right. Is everyone ready for my fantasy?
Beyond ready.
Should I read this in a sexy voice? I will.
Of course.
Okay. You fill my fantasies with fruity puppies. I love to imagine you in only jorts. It makes my jalapeno jump. I dream about calling you clumpy tits. And throwing you against Florida as I lounge you so spooky. You'll beg me to use the Parisian prince and the gourd to pleasure you. It will make you so grotesque. You will with desire. What do you say? Will you let me gush your appendage all night long? Spongy, please.
I think we've found your newfound calling.
Now that everyone's all turned on, let's get to the show.
Yeah.
All right. So, it is our opener's turn. So we have for you Ryan Zeitz. He is, oh gosh, I lost my description. Give me a second. I thought it was organized. I mean, I'm a professional. Everyone love me. Ryan is a bipolar, bilingual, and biodegradable comedian from Toronto. This one time, the founder of The Onion told him he was funny. So we are going to get Ryan started. He's a stranger I found on the internet last year for a different show, and I kept him, and here he is now. So let's put him to the test.
Hey everyone. I hate to complain about COVID, but before the pandemic, I used to work in a restaurant. And honestly, there's nothing more embarrassing than working in a restaurant where you as an employee can't afford the food on the menu. Fuck you, McDonald's. I hate everything about McDonald's. From their shitty food to their shitty slogan. I'm loving it? Bitch, please. That's not love. That's Stockholm Syndrome. Now, since COVID's come, I'm just so happy to have comedy. Because as a comedian, it's kind of like Schrodinger's job. I'm simultaneously employed and unemployed. Unless you ask my parents, in which case I'm just a disappointment. If you couldn't tell from that statement, yes, I live at home. Unfortunately, living at home for me isn't a choice, but a necessity. I can't afford rent, but I can definitely afford a Mother's Day card. And that's all I need. Would you believe some parents out there actually have the audacity to charge their kids rent? Like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm not shelling out $1,000 a month to listen to you to fuck dad upstairs. I think that's really the worst thing about living at home. It's when you find out your parents are having more sex than you are. In my case, it's even worse because they're divorced. Honestly, living at home is like being in prison. The food is free, the room is free, and you need the warden's approval for conjugal visits. The bureaucracy is awful. I put in a request 6 weeks ago, and nothing. Any longer, and I'm going to have to get off to my parents doing it upstairs.
Oof.
I know this whole time I've been saying that I live at home, but like when you really think about it, doesn't everybody live at home? Unless you're homeless, I guess. By this point, you've probably figured out I'm Jewish from all these comments. I actually took a 23andMe test, and the results came back. Turns out I'm 99.8% Ashkenazi Jew. So you can all bow down now, because you are in the presence of the Uber Jew. Coincidentally, Uber Jew is my favorite rideshare app. You press one button, and a middle-aged woman with curly hair named Esther comes and picks you up in a Volkswagen. That's right, we're taking the German car back. When she drops you off, she tries to set you up with her daughter. When I was in university, I joined a Jewish fraternity. It was called Keepa Money. We accepted non-Jews too, but the hazing was really rough, and by the end of it, none of them made the final cut.
Oof.
Like other fraternities, we had all our secrets and mysteries. We did have a secret handshake. It was slipping the doorman a 20. Okay, I'm kidding. It was a $5, as if we chill out a 20. Before you get too upset, I am allowed to make these jokes. What are they going to do? Kick me out of the religion and sew my foreskin back on? I think my mom has superpowers. Like, you know how every dad has that sixth sense for when you've touched the thermostat? Well, my mom has a sixth sense for when I'm touching myself. Every time I want to rub one out, the phone rings, and it's always her. When this happens, I'm faced with a very difficult decision. Do I let it ring through? Do I pick up? Do I finish? And you're going to judge me, but like 9 times out of 10, I pick up the phone because I would much rather talk to my mom mid-jerk than listen to the passive-aggressive voicemail she leaves. I'm also an environmentalist, and with all this deforestation going on, I just can't bring myself to waste good wood. Pretty clever dick joke, I think. A lot of comedians make dick jokes, but as we established earlier, I'm Jewish, so my dick jokes are a cut above. Thank you so much, guys.
Nice.
Yeah. Ryan Seitz, everybody.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you so much. That was your first comedy show in months and months. How do you feel?
Energized.
Energized. Yeah, you feel good?
Yeah?
And spongy.
Spongy. Good. Are you Jewish?
I am. What tipped you off?
Just the tip.
Yes. Ish.
Yeah. But yeah, I going through my notes. We'll see how much I can interpret them because I'm really bad for writing notes and being like, I'll know what this means. And then looking back and being like, McDonald's, I'm loving it. Oh, okay. Actually, this is funny. So, well, I think so. For the potential for expanding on your, like, I don't even like the McDonald's slogan, I'm loving it. You can, like, and then I did not write down what you actually said, but I wrote down what other things. I wrote down what I thought of. But I would love, like you could, like, oh, come on, we're not loving it, we're regretting it, we're tolerating it, we're indulging it. Like, I feel like there are so many other different slogans, so you may as well do maybe 3 if you can, because they're fun, and sing them. Always go all out. Yeah. I love the Schrodinger's disappointment one. I just wrote that down because I liked it. I would like, with the Mother's Day card, I think that there are so many more things you could pay with, like you could pay your rent with. So it's just like just different like household chores and things, instead of just like oh yeah, just the Mother's Day card. It's like stick up for yourself and like really validate it, because like I find with your energy, it's like you haven't decided whether or not you're giving in to the I live with my parents, because like you're almost like trying to like, oh no, I'm not that much of a loser in your attitude, but not in your words. So it's just like, if you're gonna make jokes about you being a loser, double down on it. I would, just because you can. It might not be good for your self-esteem, but that's what they're for.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, you're so welcome. I have the Uber joke I just didn't get, but that I just like wrote. That's just probably me not knowing something. The parents. When I'm talking about how your parents have more sex than you, say it like I think their being divorced line works better if you make it like, if you set it up that they're having sex, like when you find out your parents are still having sex, like just that little word kind of still unites them. So it's like it makes the divorce more of a, oh, that's where you were going with it. Mm-hmm. So I think like that little change might make that a bit tighter, and I would like that. Yeah. Oh, your hazing joke. I knew that was going to be a circumcision joke, and I was just happy with that. I was just like, oh yeah, I know that. I know what's coming. But yeah, there's okay, yeah, and then a note that I don't understand. So I'm going to say that is all from me for this. I think that once you start doing more Zoom shows, you'll figure out like the actual, because like there's always like you did well. I don't want to make you feel like you didn't at all. I just mean like your energy and everything. Like you'll get more used to the Zoom and like internet. We're not using Zoom. You'll get more used to the internet format, and things will go so much better as you go on. So good job, and I'm proud of you.
Yay! Also, great job, Ryan. Your first time back since March. That's saying a lot. So great job. Is this all new material, or is this
some old, some new?
Just a good mixture, yeah. That's a good way to approach it too. And you have those comfort jokes to fall back on that work when you're trying out new material, especially in a new format where you're not getting like an audience reaction. So really good job on that. I also loved Schrodinger's job. I just, as a philosophy geek, that really worked for me. I agree with Ray. I'd like to see a McDonald's tagline that you come up with. Spoop on that, like parody it quite a bit. Just because you open up like it without saying the tagline, I'm loving it, and you just close that joke. Like all of your jokes seem to have that very structured setup and twist at the end. Setup, punchline, twist at the end. So when you say, when you reveal that twist is you work at McDonald's and you can't afford to eat there, that's like a closed joke. And then you reopen it and you continue on with McDonald's slogan, I'm loving it. I would like you to close that with something funny as well. And I think the most obvious path for that is parodying the I'm loving it tagline, or giving a commentary on that just to close it up. When you talk about, I love your wordplay and your wittiness. I think that's really it's really playful and exciting to watch. Where it's like a truly goofy humor. Like it's you're a writer, and I can tell that with your observation of words and meanings and double entendres and stuff like that. So I love the idea, like Uber Jew. I'm like, how can you say that? Because that's such like just introducing the German language with a Jew. It causes tension, and it causes that tension of relationship. So I love that. And then calling it your rideshare app and talking about how you're parodying Uber, I think that opens up an opportunity to expand on that joke and come up with other apps that can be Jewish versions of apps. I know there's like JDate, which is a Jewish dating app. And I had a little joke that the Jewish dating app is where, old Jewish moms sign up with profiles for their children to get them dates. But something like a Jewish Skip the Dishes or a Jewish, I don't know, any good apps that you use, that could be a really good writing exercise for you to really build on that premise, that concept of Jewish versions of apps that you use. And I'd like to see you explore that a little more, just as an opportunity to expand on that premise.
For sure.
The Mother's Day card, I'll disagree with Ray. I think that was something where you're showing how much of a kind of how little of a contribution you're giving at home. And I think that just like $1,000 in rent or a Mother's Day card, because that's all I give her. That's all I'm offering to give her. But I do agree with Ray, if you're going to be self-deprecating, like really, really be self-deprecating, because when you, right now it sounds a little too much like truth. And if you're self-deprecating, you're exaggerating, and the audience is more comfortable sort of hating on you.
Okay.
When they know that you're exaggerating that character. Because like, you're a good looking guy until I heard your material about living at home with your parents. But but people are going to have a hard time shitting on you on stage if you're giving self-deprecating material. So either lean in on that or back away a little bit, but choose a lane. But I think a lot of your you have like that Jesselnick quality of subverting expectations and giving something that's like a key indicator of the entire joke. And I think the Mother's Day card, I think parents being divorced, I think those are great, like great punches and really good twists on the premise. So great job, and welcome back to comedy.
Thank you so much.
Hey Ryan, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's up? We're still on for the hike tomorrow, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Just wait for me to wake up sometime around 3 in the afternoon. If that's cool.
That works.
First of all, do something about the background, man. It's a Zoom show. Put up a Guy Ritchie poster or something. Fuck. I feel aged just looking at that mural of flowers or whatever in the background.
My grandmother fucking made this.
Yeah, you listen to her fuck your grandpa too? I don't know. Why are you so attached to your family members? Do something. All right, look. Hey, the McDonald's joke I thought was great. Building on what Ray and Alice were both saying, the slogan, I was thinking you can, like, if the running through line of your set has to do with the self-denigrating stuff that you say about yourself, and if you drop in, I don't know if you did in this set, but I think you mentioned that you struggle with mental health, like you have bipolar and something else. I'm sorry, I forget. But that's a great way of incorporating that into the catchphrase that you've got. So I was like, hey, instead of I'm loving it, it's like McDonald's, I'm dissociating while you're working there. Because that's probably what you would do. You would be so miserable. The Schrodinger's job, it's a great joke. Just switch it. I would end on Schrodinger's job. Like, that's where the punchline is. You said you started with Schrodinger's job, and then like, because it exists and it doesn't at the same time, flip it. Schrodinger's job is the punchline. That's where you need to land. The thing about I had living with your mom, being the warden, which I've met your lovely mother, and you should be ashamed of the things you say about her. God damn it. Hey, I've got there's that whole running bit about like being deprived of sexually expressing yourself. I don't know, getting off. You can play with ideas of like a parental lock on the TV. There are some shows you can't even watch. Like you can't even jerk it to Game of Thrones if you wanted to. You know what I mean? I just had some ideas of places you can explore. I thought the whole Juber bit was good. Jewish Uber. I think in terms of Jewish references, you can dig a little deeper or aim a little higher, because the whole, like a lot of the Jewish jokes about like being cheap and slipping money and whatever, I think there are better references that are not as easy to access, if that makes sense. I think you've got good ideas. I'm just saying you can dig a little deeper. Stuff that isn't so plainly used. You know what I mean? Not
Cliche,
so ubiquitous.
almost.
Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah, no, I just, I mean, I guess I got to workshop
Brian,
that
your mic
more
is muted.
with the Goyim.
Oh,
and see what the
shit.
Goyim know, you know?
Mine. Okay, there we go. Everything got really quiet there. My speaker's unplugged. I'm sorry, man. What did you say?
Oh, I just said, yeah, I guess I got to workshop that more with the non-Jews and see what they know.
Yeah.
I could go
Yeah.
really meta with it and start bringing out Yiddish, but I don't think anybody would know that.
Well, that's the thing. I might be wrong, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. But like, I'm sure there are Jewish references that are still mainstream enough that people will get it, but might have to think a little bit harder to access them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I mean. Whatever. Fuck it. I had some point I wanted to make about listening to your parents having sex is like being forced into a time machine to the night you were conceived. And that's kind of it. Those are my notes.
Thanks so much.
That was great, though. That was awesome.
Great suggestions, great tags. Oh,
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks. I'll disappear now.
Yeah. Hey, get out of here. All right, and let's see, 42 minutes in, and we're on to our second act. So, everyone, we have coming up. I, know her very well. We are we met yesterday. Her name is Winyan. Oh gosh. Wu. I that's so bad. I couldn't remember if it was Wu or you, and I was just like, I don't have to look at this. I'll remember it, and never trust myself. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Winyan Wu is an up-and-coming Toronto-based comic whose humor draws from her background growing up in Scarborough and leaning into Asian stereotypes. Aside from comedy, Winyan also spends her time doing the internet.
Hi, everyone. So happy to be here. I don't know how this happened. I was looking at myself in the mirror the other day and I somehow grew up, like I have, instead of sprouting boobs, I have just sprouted responsibility. I'm getting ma'amed now. Okay. I was walking down the street and someone was like, "Hey lady." And I responded that they were talking to me. Okay. I thought this wouldn't happen until I was at least 28. Cause I felt like it was just yesterday that I was wearing unwashed hoodies and eating pizza pockets and wishing that I could rent a car for under $3,000 a day. Now I'm just trying to decide whether I should get preventative Botox or save for retirement. I am not happy about getting older. Okay, because my mom is suddenly on my case about getting a boyfriend and having children. She was like, "Winyan, you need to hurry up and get a boyfriend because if you wait until after you're 30 to have children, they don't come out as good." I was like, okay, I realize we are talking about children and not a roast chicken. This is great. I am definitely afraid of that. She was like, yeah, just find a boyfriend on your phone. You can do that now. Okay. She doesn't understand what it's like to be on dating apps right now. It's being single on dating apps right now is I am stranded on single island. Okay, the rescue helicopter, it has come, it has circled around, it has evacuated everybody who has managed to find someone before patio season has ended. Okay, winter is coming, I am not. Now I am just surrounded by a sea of mediocre dating profiles of guys who still think that it is okay to be talking about their opinion of pineapple on pizza. Okay? I do not appreciate this. Like, I saw this one guy's profile. He was like, I'm weirdly attracted to confidence. Okay, wow. What next? Are you also like weirdly attracted to like stable employment and proper hygiene? That's not a weird attraction. You know what I'm weirdly attracted to? Guys who can recycle. Okay, like I don't need like a hot guy who looks like water polo with a side of Homecoming King and eyes like a Norwegian fjord. Okay, just give me a guy who can separate his Starbucks cup, put the cup in the garbage and the lid in the blue bin. I have seen a lot of guys, way too many guys are writing like, I'm looking for someone who will laugh at my dad jokes. Gee, I'm like super excited. Like, guys, would you get excited if you saw a girl who was like, I'm looking for a boyfriend who will like hold all my Sephora bags? Like, this is not painting an appealing picture of your future together, okay? This is like, that's like the day after tomorrow, but for your relationship, okay? Guys, please just focus on like being appealing to the other gender, you know, or like to who you're looking to match with, because you need to like not bring a veggie platter to a barbecue is what I'm saying. Okay. I hate this like dating apps. Like the other day, Hinge told me it ran out of matches for me. I did not know that could happen. I thought that was the whole point of dating apps, which was that it was like an unlimited Mandarin buffet of matches. But apparently, no, it can get tapped out like a keg at a frat party, okay? Hinge was basically like, Winyan, you need to lower your standards and flip through the channels one more time. Maybe you'll find a show you want to watch this time, huh? But that is a little insulting to me because, you know, I can't go any lower than 18. So now... recently I went and I was able to get my eyebrows done. Obviously, like I want to look good, but I also, there's just nothing like getting your hair follicles ripped out of your face just so that you can feel the touch of another human being on your skin. You know, just like Fatima's just like heavy panting in my ear. I was just like, oh. Now, like I also look good. But anyways, I feel like I spend too much time on the internet. I spend a lot of time like just wasting my time on cooking websites, reading the comment section, which is completely pointless because it is 50% of the comments are people who have never cooked the recipe yet give it like a bad review. Like, okay, you used tofu instead of beef and you only added, the only spice you added was pepper. No wonder your husband didn't like it, okay? The other people on the internet on cooking websites are like, is this safe to eat? Okay, the yogurt was expired for 4 hours. Yes, it's still safe to eat. Like, you know, we're all going to tell you, just eat it and find out yourself, right? Don't ask the internet for help on stuff like this because you know the internet only comes back with 3 answers when you ask it for help, which is go see a doctor, call a lawyer, or break up with him. Okay? Thank you. That's all for today.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. That was lovely. Yeah. So I have some notes for you. Shocking, I know. I think that just overall, like your speaking style, I think it goes well with Zoom. Like I having not seen you on stage, I don't know how it would translate onto stage, but I can assume. But I just like I feel like because you speak really quickly, I feel like that's something that often is lost on stage, but in like over the internet, it's just like I don't know. This might be just an ADHD thing, but it's like you speak quickly, and usually that makes me nervous with stand-up comedian. But instead, I'm just able to process what you're saying, and it's nice. Yeah. All right, my first note is no boobs or. So I'm guessing I got distracted and forgot a thought. So we're going to do that. Rent a dick. I just thought of that as a tag when you were going through different like things of, is it your mom that's suggesting that you just go on
Yeah, just go
a
on
dating
app.
app? Go on an app. Yeah, you know, rent a dick. Like just a stupid throwaway line that your mother should not say to you, but your mother should say to you.
Yeah, her friend told her about this app.
Yeah, yeah. That I feel like just like your mom trying to get you laid is such a huge opening, and I love that idea. And I just like honestly, I think you could do like a 5 on that because it's funny, and like depending on how many details and stories and everything you combine, and also like just bringing in your adventures with the dating app and how the pineapple on pizza line. I liked that. I would only suggest like switching out the word still thinks it's okay to still thinks it's topical. Not just because funny wordplay, but also just it just is more extreme, and also it's like people are still talking about that because I roll. And also expand on how sexy recycling is. Like moan if you want. Like I would just love you to play with that. Because like you get into it a little where you're like but you're still like small about it. And I just don't shy away from your sexiness. Embrace it. That's how you get laid apparently. It's confidence, right? Yeah. Your hair follicle being ripped out for affection. I just liked that. That's funny. That is a funny premise. I can relate to that having been in isolation. I think that's like everything sucks. Everything's broken. And for the recipes with this is for the recipe notes. Instead of no wonder your husband didn't like it, just like scream something along the lines of like not an actual scream, but like as you're willing to get, but like no wonder your husband left you, Brenda. Like I just make it more personal. And the internet. I love the get a doctor, get a lawyer, or leave him. But I would also say make it more extreme because it's the internet. So it's just like you're gonna die, you're going to jail, you're pregnant, and he left you. Like something like that. Like just make it bigger because oh my goodness, everything can be so much bigger, and that is like that is my biggest advice is you're good, I liked it, and get bigger. Not better, bigger.
Yeah.
Where do we start? Winyan, great job. I loved you. I want to hear your audiobook. I think that you would be. Are you a storyteller? Do you tell stories? Do you have a podcast? Like,
I don't have a podcast. I took some storytelling classes because I had a lot of money to give Second City, but you know.
Oh, must be nice. Yeah. No, I can tell that about you, and you have a really, really good storytelling style. I would look at other storytelling comics and see, observe how they write and how meticulously they punch up their comedy, because it's when you're telling personal stories, there's a lot that you need to communicate, and you're communicating that to an audience at a stand-up comedy show. So it's difficult to keep people's attention for very long without jokes. So I would observe, wow, I'm so bad with names, but Sleepwalk with Me. He has a long last name.
Birbiglia.
Birbiglia, Mike Birbiglia. Look at Mike Birbiglia. Look at I will DM you names of people to look at. And see, use those as examples to really try to punch up. You don't commit the cardinal sin that I like to call it of introducing Chekhov's gun in any of those things where you give information without it being relevant. So that's why I suspect that you have some storytelling experience. Really, really great job. I love the the idea of your mom telling you to go on your phone to find a boyfriend. I'd love to hear characterizations instead of you telling all of this material from your point of view. Play with the idea of having conversations with people. So actually have that conversation with your mom and then ask her, what do you think these apps are? And then give us her description or explanation of what she thinks a dating app is. And I think you could have a lot of fun with that. Just her describing, like getting a pizza delivered or something like that. I think there's a lot of potential in there. Obviously, I'm not a comedy writer, so I can't give tags, but I want to ask the joke about being attracted to confidence. What did you say after that as examples?
Oh, it's like, is he going to ask for like stable employment? Like he's really attracted to people who are stably employed or have good hygiene. I know.
Yeah. With that, I think there's an opportunity to give a punchline with, the rule of threes, where you offer 3 examples of something, and on the third, you kind of make it obscure. Abstract it a little bit. So find something that like maybe you've referenced in the set, or something that is quite obvious that you feel is normal, and give that as an example. So I'm just trying to think of a similar example. Rule of threes. Jade Niles Craig has this great joke. Shit. It's something, or Tinder for fucking. That's like pizza for eating, or something for something, or telling him you're pregnant for leverage. And then I'm playing with a joke right now that dating men is just, it's like eating plain rice, or watching daytime television, or driving sober. Like it gets the job done, but it just doesn't, there's no fun in it. And I think that's an opportunity. Like you're attracted to confidence. Let me guess, you're also attracted to stable employment, or hygiene, or a close relationship with your mother, or something that the audience knows isn't normal, but you're playing it off as normal. Hinge ran out of matches. I don't know what I meant to say there, but I don't have a ton of notes because I just really enjoyed the journey you took us on and the stories you were telling. Great job.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Winyan. Good job.
Hi.
That was smart. That was great. That was fun to listen to. I'll keep it short. I do have some ideas for like some quick tags or ideas. Take them or leave them. I don't write. So, the idea that they don't come out as good. The thing that your mom said about having kids way too late. My mind kind of took it in a direction that we are more our parents than we like to admit. And I think that while you're leading us on this train of thought that she is kind of being judgy and saying something like that, and she's putting that pressure on you, at the same time, if you can use that in a sort of personal observation, you know what I mean? Like at first it sounds really judgy and you're like, come on, mom, leave me alone. But then I don't know if there's somebody in your family that you could reference who had a kid late and you're like, oh yeah, you know what? She's kind of got a point. Where it ends up being like, resentfully, okay, I've noticed, it kind of brings it around so that your mom goes from the villain to like relatable and more you than you'd like to admit. It's a very humanizing kind of idea. And I just thought that's worth exploring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you don't reference anybody in your family, you could even fucking you could take artistic liberties and be like, I didn't believe her. I thought that was a mean thing to say until I met fucking so-and-so and I saw them reunite with their parents at a show and I was like, oh, it makes sense now, I don't know if that's cruel, but whatever. On Ray's idea, the whole sexy thing about recycling, I love that. I think you can really lean into it. I think you can explore and add a lot of tags on that. Get sexy about it. When you said separating the two, separating the lid from the cup, immediately I was like, separating the two is the fastest way to make me separate my legs. Like, you can play with words like that and add Ray's idea to like get really sultry about it, lean into it, have fun with it.
Yeah.
Hinge's slogan is something along the lines of like, it's there, it's meant to be deleted. It's there to be deleted. You know what I mean? You find your match and then you don't need it anymore. Right? I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that I couldn't think of a punchline, but basically when you said that they ran out of suggestions, you're like, I know Hinge is meant to be deleted, but I think I broke it. Like, it's not meant to be deleted this way. Yeah. And then my last note was in your thing about no wonder your husband didn't like it, people not doing the recipes correctly.
Yeah.
I just thought of a hillbilly impression where somebody comments on the thing like, yeah, no stars, this pad thai recipe sucks, the cheese was moldy and the ketchup was watery. Like, ingredients that just don't fucking belong in there. People taking liberties. I know you did that with the tofu, but I think you can get really absurd with it. Anyways, thanks. That was great.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Winyan. That was great. Next, we have like pages into my notebook because I've been taking notes. So my actual thing that I need to read isn't there because I'm ready for this. It's the first show we're allowed to be silly. But anyway, we're here and we're ready, and we are. I didn't write down her last name. Oh my goodness. Oh, we're here. Everyone else's last name. You're gonna have to. Oh my gosh. Okay. So originally from India, Ritu is a Nashville-based comedian. Her accomplishments include one failed marriage with a goal of failing at a few more. I'm so sorry.
All right, do I start now? Okay, cool.
Yes, you're good.
All right, hello Canadians and American citizens. How are you guys doing?
Woo!
Good. Woo.
Yay, good. I'm going to be a citizen soon. I'm on all the dating apps. I do comedy as a side hustle. Being a comedian has made me realize I want to give up on being a vegetarian. Two attention-seeking skills should not be in one person. This COVID isolated life has made me scared of death. I don't want to die. I'm worried if I die, who will take care of my Instagram account? All right, cool, silly joke. All right, people, I'm actually here to tell you guys that I'm doing this. I am upgrading my God level. Switching from Indian God to Jesus. Indian gods are overweight. You guys have a good looking, hot Jesus God? And also because I love unlimited bread and wine. All right, nobody laughs on the StreamYard. This is the last time I'm trying this. Okay, cool. A little bit about me. I was divorced a few years ago. I think divorces are emotionally and financially hard, but it gets worse when you have a joint email account. You know, like Ron and Pemi forever at gmail.com. I'm sorry, at AOL.com, sorry. All right, well, after divorce, I had a lot of free time, so I joined a book club. But I don't know why I joined a book club. I don't even like wine. All right. Okay, well, I'm single again. I'm back in the dating world. I went on a date last week, and this guy was like, hey, I like you. Do you want to come over, watch Netflix and chill? I was like, I don't do Netflix and chill dates. I know what American men want. But if you have Amazon Prime, I'm up for casual sex. I am new to American dating. I think a lot about my sexual fantasies. I have this wildest sexual fantasy to make love to an American man with no student loan debt. All right. Cool. Well, these are dating jokes, but in reality, I live in Nashville, Tennessee in the US, and I'm dating a guy in Columbia, Tennessee. I never thought I'll have to cross 3 Cracker Barrels to find love. All right, that's a very American joke. Okay, Canadians are getting it. You guys are doing good. Okay, well, talking about dating and sex, we don't have sex education back in India, but I still somehow know how to fake it. All right, give me one laugh at least to keep going, please. This is hard. We can do it. Okay. All right. Well, enough of these dating jokes. I'm an immigrant, right? I have hard time making American friends. I think we are different. Like I don't have any food allergies. Like I prefer water without ice. The word ice scares the shit out of me. All right, somebody got that joke. Cool. Well, Trump is gone, so no more ice, hopefully. I don't know. Okay, I don't like the way Indians are greeted in America. Like if I see an American, I'll be like, hey, how you doing? But if an American sees me, he's like, oh my God, I love Indian food. No. Don't do that to us. From next time, if I see an American, I'll be like, oh my God, US healthcare sucks. Okay. All right. So a comic said, hey, keep a balance between Indian and American jokes so they don't feel like they're the target. But hey, we all know who the target is, Mexicans, right? All right. I can get away with that brown joke. I am brown. Thank you. All right. Well, English is my second language. So I'm trying to get better at the language. Tell me if these synonyms are right. Synonym of stalking your ex. Is it looking for closure? Is it? And a synonym of dating an introvert. Is it adopting a cat? We will end this English lessons here just for today. I still haven't got my 1 minute line. Okay, we'll keep going. A lot of people talk about problems Indian women face, like a gender inequality, rape, and all that. Nobody talks about real problems that we face. Body hair. This guy I went on a date with, he said, you have beautiful hair. I said, wait till we explore each other's body. It's the same hair growth on the rest of the body. All right. I'm like looking at my own face and trying to see how I have to still, I need to stop this. Okay. I have a question for you guys. Is anyone looking to buy brown parents? I'm selling mine. My parents have a basic common love story. My mom loves my dad and my dad loves alcohol. My mom is a little mean. I called her last night and I was like, hey, Mom, I'm really nervous. I have this show tomorrow. I don't think I'm funny. She said, I don't care if you're funny. When are you getting married? No. Okay, I got the 1 minute lie. Yay. All right. I'm going to end on this one. My dad is a big believer in karma. He said I got divorced because I made fun of someone's divorce. Well, I learned my lesson. I make fun of rich people now. One laugh, and this is how I end it. I love StreamYard. Yay! Okay.
Yay! We do a great job. Great job. I might go first because I don't have a ton of notes. So I'll just get it out of the way. And I'm so used to hosting and running this show that I feel like it's still my own. So sorry, Ray, for stepping on your toes. But I love the idea of upgrading gods. That's hilarious, and talking about a sexy Jesus. I think that's really cool. And you're introducing, you're contrasting Indian religion with Western religion, and I think you can do a little bit more about that, especially because you can maybe talk about Indian food and Western food, and then use the people always reach you and tell you that they love Indian food. You can use that as a callback, and I think that's a great way to tie those two parts together. I love your style. It's very one-liner. It's very segmented. Just like I have a joke about this, and then I have a joke about this, and it's super straightforward. It's craftsmanly, but you also have a sense of order throughout them. So you do bunch your jokes together, and it comes out. It's very, very well structured. The body hair thing, I think, especially because you put it near the end, I think you can expand on that a little bit and talk a bit more about your body hair. And I know there are a lot of people who do this well. Sarah Silverman has this great thing about it being waxed from like eyebrows to the toes and all of this kind of stuff. Tina Fey, like me, we all feel your pain. Like we, hairy women, we're all out there. Yeah, I think I would like you to do a writing exercise to write a bit more about your body hair, if you're comfortable with doing that. But great job, and thank you for doing the show. And I'm sorry, StreamYard and Zoom are just, they're not the same. They're not. I know, but we're doing the best we can.
No, we're good. Thanks.
Yeah, and you did so well. Like I was laughing, I promise. I always like, especially doing this, like I always debate. I'm like, should I like make sure my laugh is audible? What if it sounds fake? Ha 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 ha. I shouldn't do that laugh as a form of appreciation. So
yes,
you know,
I'll accept that. Yes.
Yeah, it's better than, but that might be better than the heavy breathing, which is the other alternative. But anyway, let's talk about you and how I express joy. Okay, so I do not have my glasses on, so I'm just struggling. I need to invest in contacts for the Zoom shows because of the light, but I don't need to explain this. When you, this is going to be out of order because of how reckless my notes were doing this. Anyway, AOL, when you correct the email address, the joint email, and you say like oh, at Gmail, no, at AOL. It was that old of a marriage. Just because like if you're gonna correct it to AOL, you may as well like add that little bit. Just
that's cool. Yes.
The potential is there, so use it. I loved hot Jesus. I just wanted to say that because that's a sentence that my job lets me say. With the joint account, switching custody, saying like oh, I only have access to and then like some random like chain mail or something. Like I only get my the Mighty Orderly newsletters on Tuesdays now, and I like their Thursday rendition, but make it something like more obscure than the mental health magazine that I when you're talking about meeting someone and him inviting you over for Netflix and chill, I'm not naive. I am a mature, strong-minded woman. Amazon Prime or bust. Like I just, yeah, I just think like there is like I love that premise. I think it's funny, and I just think it could be tightened and played around with a bit, and then it could be better because it's great. It's just great. The water without ice. Oh. I love that. Like, I'm sure you heard all of us laugh out loud with that one. Oh my goodness! Like I gave like an audible ha, like it was. Yeah, I take my water without ice. Ideally, I take my America without ice. What did you have about closure?
That was a synonym like stalking your ex. My American friends tell me that is looking for closure.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Just when you said that, you said like the funny, you said like the blow line first. So I was just gonna say to flip that. So it's because it's like you said, like, am I looking for closure or am I looking for whatever word you said, but you said that first. So just because yeah, so it's just like always like from the sounds of it, it might have been a slip of the tongue, so I might have a needless note for you. But yeah, use Indian food to flirt. People always bring it up to you anyway. So like I started like bringing curry in my pocket to entice them, like just something stupid like that. If you want to go down that path, but it's just, I feel like if you want to mention how people are always talking to you about Indian food and how you're always trying to get someone to date, combine them. And yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
Ritu, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. That was awesome. That was really fun. That was really quick, quippy, clever. It makes it hard to like jot notes as you're going, because by the time I've finished a note about one joke, you're already 3 more in. So I'm not saying that as like an insult at all. Just don't take it personally when we're not laughing. If we're like, we're distracted. Zoom shows suck by nature. So just don't let it bog you down. And that's the one thing, is you can totally use that button to like laugh at yourself that you're not getting a response, but just be careful not to overplay it, because we're all hyper aware that these are exceptional circumstances. Zoom shows can be grueling. So like count on it to bail you out, but just be careful not to overplay it. That's my only like critique that I would offer you. Otherwise, I love a lot of the ideas that you're going for. Like sexy Jesus really works. I think that's hilarious. If you really want to get sacrilegious with it, I had a couple things. You were like, although Jesus probably wishes he could take some things from Hinduism. Wait, what? Before I put my foot in my mouth, what religion? Hindu. Okay. So you could be like, I'm sure Jesus, with his unlimited bread and wine joke, I'm sure Jesus wishes he had more arms to serve all that shit with.
Okay.
And you talking about sexy Jesus, you can say something about like, I would love to explore the Kama Sutra with 6-pack Jesus, get down into those cum gutters. I also, there was one thing the Cracker Barrel joke. I love the idea in a longer set using mediocre, ubiquitous American restaurants as a unit of measurement, because they're already very resistant to metric, which makes fucking sense, and the rest of the world uses it. So they might as well lean into it. So like for the rest of your longer set, if you get to that point, you can drop these little nuggets that you're like, well, that's like 5 TGIFs away, or like that's exactly 2 Applebee's, 2.5 Applebee's from here. So that's, I don't know, that's something that is worth thinking about. The Mexicans joke was great. We're all afraid of them or whatever. I forget. That was great. That was a good one. The adopting your cat synonym. I just say add a higher number. Make it your 5th cat. Really lean into the introversion. Turn this person into a crazy cat lady. Introverted can mean having 1 cat, but if you really want to like hyperbolize it, throw a higher number on there. Adopting your 3rd cat means you're really lonely. And lastly, there was one last thing. There was one bit about how your mom said, I don't care how funny you are, when are you getting married? I think that's a nugget right there that has so much potential. So it may not have gotten a big response right now, but that is so real and raw that like keep exploring it, keep writing around it, keep tooling around with that, because that's a very human moment. It hurts, it sucks to hear your own parents say something like that, and that's where you can get some really good gold to turn that shit around and get a big laugh. So keep exploring that idea. That's really good.
Cool.
And some comments actually from Sarah Dawn in the chat, not Sarah Ashby coming up next, because we've made that mistake a couple times before. So from Sarah in the chats, we have she said the synonym of stalking your ex, looking for closure. I'd switch that because stalking your ex is a good punchline. I would try that out. I think that's really good.
That's 100% what I was trying to say. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because that is funny. Stalking your ex, the synonym of that. I keep wanting to say cinnamon, but the synonym to that is looking for closure. Looking for closure, the synonym to that is stalking your ex. I think that has a bit more punch. And then reiterating what Al said, more cats makes the jokes land so much harder and punchier. And yeah, don't be afraid to get ridiculous. Don't be afraid to bend or stretch the truth or just completely lie and exaggerate and bring out those like 1 cat is good, 3 cats is funny, 5 cats is hilarious. It's the Seth MacFarlane school of humor. You know, if they don't laugh at you stubbing your toe once, they're gonna laugh at you the 8th time or the 20th time, and then just keep doing that thing until you get a laugh. But exaggeration and blowing things into cartoonish proportions always helps to give a bit more of a punch. Okay, and that's thank you.
That was awesome. Bravo.
Yeah. Okay, so we only have one final act left, and I have a question. What do you get when you put Regina George's mean spirit into Garth from Wayne's World's body? Why? You get Sarah Ashby. This roast battle champ can soon be seen on the upcoming satirical comedy series, Make Karen Great Again. Hey, Sarah, welcome.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. It's me, Lumberjack Avril Lavigne. It's so great to be here. It's gonna be so awesome. I hate doing those little like quips off the top because I feel like, I don't know, I've been having this problem lately, you know, like just like everyone's been saying, we're all trying to date and stuff now, and that's all fine. But I find like that I'm having this problem with dating, you know, other than the other, like, you know, things with dating, like intimacy issues, abandonment issues, the fear that everybody you meet who's going to be nice to you is going to murder you, you know, normal dating baggage. My problem is I find that a lot of people like to describe me as quirky. And that's not a bad thing. It really isn't. Except, like, when I imagine people who are described as quirky, I imagine people who collect rainbow mason jars and play ukulele and sing to their houseplants. I don't imagine me, who is so terrified of the dark that I have to sing ABBA songs in order to make sure my mind doesn't go to the dark recesses that it could, and also so that if any ghosts are around, they know that I'm groovy and not to kill me. You know, but it got me thinking, right? It got me really thinking about like this weird kind of like double standard we have with things that are quirky, with things that are weird. You know, it really depends on who's doing it, right? Like, for example, if a girl with like thick bangs and glasses comes up to you and is like, your skin is so beautiful, I just want to rip it off of you and live inside of it. You're like, oh my God, that's so quirky. What a lovely compliment. A guy does that to you, that is a literal threat. Like, you were terrified for your life. Another example would be fedoras, right? Girl puts on a fedora. It's fun. It's quirky. It's cute. Guy puts on a fedora. He's a monster, or Justin Timberlake from 2008. Not much of a difference, but you know. Another example would be, okay, here's one that's really weird. You know, okay, music taste too, for example. Girls who listen to Matchbox 20, right? They're like quirky and retro and fun. Guys who listen to Matchbox 20, probably Rob Thomas. Probably. I just think it's like a weird double standard thing. You know, like I just want the same kind of fear and concern that you can see in the eyes of anybody else who tells someone that they have 2 anime swords in their room, you know, instead of someone just being like, oh my God, that's so cute, can I see? No, not at all. I don't know if you guys had that. I had this weird thing growing up, and I'm not sure if you guys had this, but like I had this weird thing where for all of my elementary school career, I believed that I was being followed by the ghost of a digital watch. And before you're like, there's no way. Watches, they don't have souls. They're not real. Hear me out completely. Every day, I swear to you, every day for 6 years of my schooling, I would hear at 11:37 the most specific little beep, beep, beep. And it just blew, like everybody went insane. So like to begin off, like the first day you hear it, right? You're like, okay, probably a new watch. Someone's trying to figure it out. Might be in their backpack. That's okay, whatever. Second day rolls around, the beeping starts again. We're like, all right, this is weird. everyone's kind of like looking around all judgmental, right? That's like somebody farted, but no one wants to like come up to it, except this is like a fart you could stop by like turning off a button. Then by day 3, you have that one kid who's always really loud. Finally, the beeping goes off, and he's like, "Whose is that? Turn it off!" And soon everybody's looking around, looking for whose it is. But no one's fessing up. No one's fessing up at all. So day 4 rolls around. Your teachers now in on this too. They're just like rolling around like the Pink Panther, just literally going around the classroom trying to find the source of the noise. But there's no source. None. This wash doesn't exist. I don't know where this beeping's coming from. Now, I grew up. I thought I got over this whole thing. High school happens, college happens. You don't hear any more digital watches there. So I think I'm fine until I begin my teaching job. And I go back into the school and I hear that little beep, beep, beep. And then I just black out, and all of a sudden I'm fired for being hysterical and crying too hard. It scared the kids. Talked about working with kids, and I've been thinking about that a lot too, because end of the world basically, and I realized just like how much I've kind of screwed myself by working with children, because none of those skills are really transferable, right? Like there's never going to be a time post-apocalypse where there's just going to be a group of people standing around like, all right guys, we've got a hunter, we've got food, we've got a farmer, he can grow us vegetables, we've got a doctor. Now, who is somebody who could talk to us about bullying but not have any power to do anything about it? I just don't think it's very viable in the apocalypse, Thank you guys so much. This has been awesome.
Awesome. Okay.
Sarah, oh my gosh, so good to see you again.
That was awesome. I guess I should go first. I haven't gone first yet.
Alex, what you got?
Sarah, you're always awesome. I always love everything that you do. You're so quirky and unique, which is big points. Oh man, I didn't have a lot of notes. Like Fedora was hilarious. Matchbox joke was great. There was an idea I had when you were mentioning like singing ABBA to yourself to comfort yourself to sleep. I like the idea of maybe thinking about ways in which that backfires. Like I was imagining you on the road in Waterloo, trying to go to sleep in some crappy motel in the dark, singing Waterloo to yourself. It just takes on a completely new meaning,
Oh,
I don't know. It's just some idea to like fuck around with. And then lastly, this is the only other note I have is the blackout idea of the alarm and doing something in the class. I think you can either use several more examples or come up with something really bizarre that you did while you were blacked out. You're like, I don't know what happened. They told me they found me in the fetal position, curled up under my desk eating chalk, and I had no idea. So yeah, otherwise that was all awesome. I loved it.
Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you.
Sarah, I don't have a whole lot more to add to that because I just think it was super, super wonderful, and every punchline was just there. And I think we encountered this problem in the live show as well. You've been on Joke Shop before, right?
I think so. A while back, probably.
Yeah. And it was just like, what can we do with that? Like, can you give me advice? Can I send you my set and you can tell me how to make it better? I think that was polished. It's such a pleasure to see you doing this online with the presence and with the animation that you have on stage. It's been just a pleasure to see you, and I'm so glad to see you. And looks like you're doing well, and yay!
Thank you.
Hilarious.
Thank you so much.
My turn. So we matched today. I hope that everyone appreciates our coordination that we put a lot of planning and effort into. It's not just because it is a trope for I don't know, like comics to wear plaid and look gay.
Uniform.
this might be shocking to everyone listening, but I don't have that much to say either. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I thought that was great. I do have a request, a demand, if you will. When you're talking about fedoras, you mention how women look in fedoras and how men look in fedoras, and I just found myself wondering, how do the non-binary people look in fedoras?
For sure.
And oh my goodness, like not only am I self-absorbed, so that's where I went, why I went there, but like, I don't know, I just throwing in non-binary people and reminding us we exist is great. And I just want to know what I look like in a fedora.
Totally.
And I hope it's not Justin Timberlake. Don't tell me. I have a cousin that looks like Justin Timberlake in like a really weird way. So I have like this really weird relationship with Justin Timberlake of just like, I already don't like him, but then I just feel uncomfortable when I look at his face. And like, nothing personal, but anyway, let's talk about Sarah. I have a similar note as Al did about the blackout, where it's just like I started ripping up the floorboards, like just something like that. Where, like I woke up and there was no more school. I don't know what happened. Like again, like, you can, like as Al said, you can get so absurd with that because oh my goodness, I love blackouts.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was great, and I wish I had more. Except again, because I just like to copy Al. Oh my gosh, just more ABBA stuff. I love that. I love ABBA so much. So when you started saying that, I was just like smiling so much, and I don't know, just like the idea of like to bring in like actually like singing Waterloo. Yeah, just because I love act outs and. I would just, the end.
I just want to go back to the fedora since we're touching on it, and I love that it's a screen for people who are cool with they them pronouns. I just want to it's probably true that non-binary and especially all visible queer people can wear whatever the fuck we want, and that's a beautiful thing. So obviously fedoras are good. Like we're good with fedoras. We're good with fedoras. We're good with pink fucking Muppet vests, whatever we want to wear. Yeah, that's the only privilege we have. As a community collectively, we can wear anything
we wear something
without
fashion.
judgment. Yes, exactly. So that's where I stand on non-binary fedora usage, but that's just me. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yay!
Amazing. Well, thank you all so much, and thank you again for having me.
Thank you,
so
Sarah.
wonderful again.
Yeah, thank you.
The claps.
Yeah, just so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I can't actually snap my fingers. I just always do the motion, and I just like to pretend. And
I can only snap with my left hand. I can't snap with my right fingers. Just my left.
Really? Can either of you do this thing?
No, it just hurts.
No,
my
I
wrist.
can't.
Like I'm definitely doing it wrong.
I just have gay wrists. Like my wrists are too weak to do anything with that. I just flail.
It's a practice art, people.
Good
You just
natural
gotta-
flail. Yeah.
Yeah, just got to keep flailing in front of your TV until you hear a smack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from behind it's really incriminating, but who cares?
Okay, so just to rephrase that, stand in front of the TV, make this motion until I get hit from behind.
Sure. Yeah. As long as it makes a smack, we're gonna look at this in a Machiavellian way.
Okay, I'm into it. And
I love it.
yeah, and I love you both. Oh my goodness, thank you for being on the show and combining the show and existing and participating, and everything is amazing.
And thank you. Did you want to be full screen so you can do an outro?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're so welcome. Thank you, and thank you everyone. I'm gonna say this again. Wow, that was a great show, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, I had a lot of fun. I'm assuming everyone else did because I could hear them laughing, and that's why we're here, right? This was our simultaneous like first and third first show because that's just how things work when you're changing them. And I'm so glad with how it went, and I'm so glad with everything that happened, and I'm glad for what's going to happen in the future because we are coming back in 2 weeks, and that's going to be probably just as exciting because we're going to have new people and we're going to do new things, and I love things, and I also loved everything that happened tonight, and I'm just so grateful for how the show went, and I'm grateful for how it's going to go, and I'm grateful for you for watching, for listening, and for coming to watch it again in 2 weeks. Thank you all. And yeah, I have no control, so I'm just going to smile. Are we okay?